Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The bold and the beautiful B&B spoilers indicate that there's more to the story when it comes to all the tension between Leigh Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, and Poppy Nozawa, Romi Park. Leigh has a buried secret that'll be revealed at last. So Romi Park talked about that recently on Bold Live with B&B supervising producer Casey Kasperzik. During Kasperzik's chat with Park, he brought up the fact that Leigh has always had big issues with Poppy. Kasperzik suggested that we kinda know but kinda don't know what those issues are, but he hinted about the show diving into them very soon. After Kasperzik talked about fans finding out why Leigh is so mean to Poppy, Park agreed and urged viewers to stay tuned. It turns out Poppy's going to get a surprise of her own when it comes to these issues and whatever lies had bottled up all these years. Yes, keep on watching because then Poppy will also find out why Leigh has always been so mean to her, Park insisted. Romi Park assured fans that this big reveal was in the works and said it'd been good to reconnect with Naomi Matsuda since they hadn't shared scenes in a while. Of course, Poppy moved in with Leigh after Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, went to jail and Poppy's relationship with Bill Spencer, Don Diamond, blew up. There's obviously been somewhat of a thaw between the sisters, but B&B still needs to address all the past conflict. The show has offered a few answers so far, but they still haven't given the full picture. We know Leigh initially lashed out over Poppy's affair with the married chief surgeon at the hospital where Leigh got her a job. Since Leigh got caught in the fallout and had to transfer elsewhere, it's easy to see why she wasn't happy about that. However, that didn't explain why Leigh always seemed so hateful toward Luna, even back before anyone knew about Luna's sinister side. Leigh eventually admitted she resented Poppy for being able to carry a child when she couldn't do the same. It's possible the upcoming big reveal will elaborate on that, but it's also possible the show will lean into another angle. There have certainly been hints that Poppy might have had an affair with Jack Finnegan, Ted King as well, so maybe Leigh will finally admit to knowing her sister and husband had a fling once upon a time. There's a chance the show will ultimately pull a switcheroo regarding Luna's paternity, since there's no firm proof that Tom's star, Clint Howard, was her father. Whatever the case, the truth behind Poppy and Leigh's sister issues will finally be revealed, so we'll bring you more predictions on all the erupting family drama. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say some exciting scenes are ahead no matter what, so stay tuned for updates on all the jaw-dropping news to come. The tension in the air was palpable as Leigh Finnegan walked into the hospital's break room. She'd spent countless hours in the sterile halls, but tonight felt different. A weight pressed on her chest, one she'd carried for decades. Secrets were meant to be buried, yet hers clawed its way to the surface, threatening to dismantle everything she held dear. Across town, Romi Park, a savvy and sharp-tongued investigative journalist, stared at her reflection in the dimly lit mirror of her apartment. She'd been following a trail of breadcrumbs for months, and they all led to Leigh Finnegan. The whispers of a forgotten past, hushed arguments, and evasive answers had brought her closer to uncovering a truth that could change lives. She wasn't sure if she was ready for the storm she was about to unleash, but she knew one thing. The truth couldn't stay hidden any longer. Poppy, a rising star in the fashion world, had always exuded confidence and charm. Yet, behind the glitz and glamour, her life was a whirlwind of emotional chaos. Her strained relationship with her sister, Sophia, had become the talk of the Forrester Creations office. Whispers of their infamous blowouts and icy silences made their way through the hallways, leaving colleagues both intrigued and concerned. Sophia's resentment toward Poppy was no secret. She's always been the golden child, Sophia confided in Hope Logan during a coffee break. Mom and Dad worshipped her, while I had to fight for every ounce of attention. Hope, ever the mediator, tried to assure her that families were complicated, but Sophia's bitterness was hard to shake. What no one knew was that their mother, Leigh, carried a secret that could explain the fractures in their relationship. It was a secret so deep that even Jack Finnegan, her husband, had only scratched the surface of its implications. Romi's pursuit of the truth began with a tip from a former Forrester intern who overheard a heated conversation between Leigh and Jack. The words, "It wasn't my choice to separate them," And Poppy deserves to know lingered in Romy's mind like an unsolved puzzle. Armed with her instincts and an unrelenting drive, Romy dug into hospital records, adoption files, and old newspaper archives. What she uncovered made her heart race. A decades-old case involving a child separation scandal at the very hospital where Lai once worked stood out. The details were murky, but one name kept appearing: Lee Finnegan. Romy couldn't ignore the connection. If this is what I think it is, she whispered to herself, Poppy's entire world is about to be turned upside down. On a stormy evening, Romy showed up unannounced at Lee's doorstep. Clutching a folder filled with evidence, she braced herself for the confrontation. Lai opened the door, her usual composed demeanor faltering for a moment as she recognized Romy. "Miss Park," she said cautiously, "what brings you here?" "I think you know why I'm here," Romy replied, stepping inside without waiting for an invitation. She placed the folder on the coffee table and looked Lai straight in the eye. "It's time to tell the truth about Poppy and Sofia." Lee's face paled. She sank into the nearest chair, her hands trembling. "I never wanted it to come to this," she murmured. "Then why hide it?" Romy pressed. "Why let your daughter suffer without knowing the full story?" Lee's gaze dropped to the floor. Because the truth would hurt them more than the lies ever could. With Romy's relentless questioning, the floodgates opened. Lai revealed a story that had haunted her for years. "It was a different time," she began, her voice barely above a whisper. "I was a young doctor, ambitious and eager to make a difference. One night, a woman came into the ER in labor. She was scared and alone. Her name was Elena. She begged me to take care of her babies. Twins." Romy's eyes widened. "Twins?" Lai nodded. "Poppy and Sofia were born that night. But Elena was in no condition to raise them. She wanted them to have better lives, but she couldn't decide whether to keep them together or separate them. Before she could make a choice, complications arose and she didn't survive." Tears streamed down Lee's face as she continued. "The hospital was overcrowded. Adoption agencies were overwhelmed. I made a decision that I thought was best at the time. I placed Sofia with a family who could take her immediately, and I kept Poppy with me and Jack." "You adopted her?" Romy asked, incredulous. "Yes," Lai admitted. "Jack and I raised Poppy as our own. We never told her the truth. And Sofia, well, I thought she was happy with her family. But when she came back into Poppy's life years later, I realized the scars hadn't healed." Romy left Lee's house that night, her mind racing with how to handle the story. While her journalist instincts urged her to publish the truth, a part of her hesitated. This wasn't just a story, it was a family's fragile bond at stake. Meanwhile, Lee wrestled with how to confront her daughters. The next morning, she gathered Poppy and Sofia at the Forrester mansion, knowing the conversation would either shatter or mend their relationship. "There's something I need to tell you both," Lai began, her voice trembling. Poppy looked at her mother with concern, while Sofia crossed her arms, her skepticism evident. As Lai recounted the events of their birth, the room fell silent. Poppy's hands flew to her mouth, tears streaming down her cheeks. Sofia, on the other hand, erupted in anger. "You think this excuses everything," she shouted. "The years of feeling second best, the constant comparisons to the perfect Poppy." Poppy reached out to her sister, her own emotions raw. "Sofia, I had no idea. If I had known." "But you didn't," Sofia snapped, pulling away. "And now, I don't know if I can forgive either of you." Days turned into weeks as the family grappled with the fallout. Romy's story went unpublished, a decision she made after seeing the pain her investigation had caused. Instead, she reached out to Sofia privately, offering her a chance to share her side of the story if she ever felt ready. For Lai, the road to redemption was steep. She attended therapy sessions with both daughters, hoping to rebuild the trust she'd broken. Slowly but surely, cracks in their relationship began to mend. Sofia started to see Poppy not as a rival, but as a sister who had been just as blindsided by the truth. In a heartfelt moment at Forrester Creations, Sofia approached Poppy with a tentative smile. "I'm not saying everything's okay," she said, "but maybe we can start over, as sisters." Poppy's face lit up with hope. "I'd like that." The revelation of Lai's buried secret sent shockwaves through the Forrester family, but it also brought a chance for healing. Poppy and Sophia began working on a joint fashion line, channeling their shared pain into creativity. Lai, once haunted by her past, found solace in her daughter's resilience and willingness to move forward. As for Rami, she turned her attention to other stories, but the Finnegan family remained close to her heart. Sometimes, she thought, the truth wasn't about headlines or accolades. Sometimes, it was about giving people the chance to write their own endings. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.